Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 10WT Tips, where every single week we teach you how to form the healthy habits that will transform your body and your life. I'm your host, Nick Carrier, and I'm a master fitness trainer, a corrective exercise specialist, and a nutrition specialist. Each week I bring you a tip regarding fitness, nutrition, personal life, or goal setting, and today we're going to talk about what I ate on my brother's bachelor trip. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 10WT Tips. Today's episode's unique. Today's episode, I'm going to give you a glimpse into what I ate on my brother's bachelor trip. Now, at the time that I'm recording this, I think it was about 2.5 weeks ago that I went on my brother's bachelor trip, and it was an absolute blast. And I think one of the most important things to communicate to you guys about this is the expectations that I went in with. A lot of people whom I'm coaching have a health and fitness goals, and they're tracking their health and fitness goals, and then they have a situation come up like a bachelor trip or a bachelorette trip or a wedding or a vacation or a holiday, and they think that their goals should stay the same. They have this expectation of, just because this is coming up, I need to try to be perfect. It's either boom or bust. And oftentimes, if you go in thinking that way and then you don't act that way, then you self-destruct, and it can be a negative downward spiral of your actions moving forward. And this can often cause us to be somewhat psychotic with our beliefs around food. And so I think one of the things that I also want to get across today is, yes, I am super healthy. I eat really well. I exercise very consistently. But I try not to be psychotic with my food. I try not to be the person who, anytime I go anywhere, needs to bring something really healthy with me or needs to make any super special requests when I go anywhere. Like, I want to be going with the flow. I don't want to be a pain in the butt. I don't want to be a nuisance to the rest of the group. I don't want to be a nuisance to maybe the employees of a place that I'm going. Like, yes, I'm super healthy, but I realize that I don't want to be a psycho, and I want to be flexible depending on what I'm doing. And so when I went in with the expectation of, I'm going to aim to be healthier than I could be. I'm going to aim to make healthier choices when I can. I'm going to aim to control what I can control. But again, I'm not going to be a nuisance. We all pitched in to get food at the grocery store, and we all went to certain restaurants together. I wasn't going to go to a separate restaurant from the other guys, and I was just going to go with the flow. I wanted to enjoy the time, not really be all that concerned. However, I was going to take some action of controlling what I could control. So here's kind of a list of some different things that I had. The first night that I got out there, I had hamburgers with buns. Now, the only reason why I bring that up is usually when I make hamburgers for myself here in Nashville, one of the things I do to make it healthier is I don't have buns. Because if you just have grass-fed beef for hamburgers, then that's a great meal right there. But adding buns or unhealthy forms of beef kind of turns it to less and less healthy. And so I had burgers with hamburger buns. But that was what my brother was serving, and I wasn't going to make a fuss about it. And I was actually looking forward to it because I hadn't had a hamburger with a bun in a long time. Then the next morning I woke up and had a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit. Now, once again, I was at my brother's place. We were getting ready to drive to Steamboat, Colorado, and my brother made a really nice action and went and got me a chicken biscuit for when I came back from my run. So I did go on a run, so let's make sure we note that. But he got me a chicken biscuit for when I got back, and I was like, I haven't had a Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit in forever. And my first initial thought was, oh, this isn't very healthy. But I was like, you know what? Who cares? Like, you just did a run, so congrats. Like, let's enjoy this chicken biscuit. And then I did. Then we got to Steamboat, and then we went to a place that had a pizza place, and I had some pizza, I had some beer, but it was a flatbread pizza. It had some protein on it. I'm not going to try to convince you that it was a healthy pizza, but that's what I had. And once again, I wasn't going to go to a new place, and I wanted to enjoy pizza, and that's what I got. And then that night, it was a little bit of a healthier dinner. One of his buddies cooked ribs, sweet potatoes, and a salad, and so I felt really good about that dinner that we had, and I was really happy that he made something on the healthier side. So already I had hamburgers with buns, a Chick-fil-A biscuit, and some pizza, which is I might have one of those three things somewhat regularly, but the fact that I had all three of them in a row is very different from anything that I usually do. But once again, I didn't beat myself up about it. I didn't really care because I didn't go in with the expectation of perfection. I went in with the expectation of like, I'm going to roll with the punches and see what happens and make healthier decisions if and when I can. Then the next morning, one of the things that they did have for breakfast is we got a bunch of bagels, we got a bunch of muffins, and then bacon and eggs. Now, I did give myself like a hard and fast rule that when I could to not have the bagels and not have the muffins. And so that morning I resisted the temptation and I just had bacon and eggs. And so pretty good source of protein right there. Then we went on a float, and after the float, we went to a Mexican place and I had a burrito. And the burrito was, it was kind of a typical burrito. It had lettuce, meat, beans, probably guacamole, some salsa and stuff like that. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but again, I wasn't going to make a big fuss about it. I had chips and salsa and it was great. And then that evening, my brother made steak, baked potato, and Caesar salad. So that's a pretty good meal right there as well. So then that day was bacon and eggs, a burrito with chips and salsa, and then steak, potato, and Caesar salad. So I was rolling with the punches. The next morning, we were leaving Steamboat, and I had a bagel with cream cheese on it. Now, I love a bagel and cream cheese, but I can't remember the last time I had a bagel with cream cheese. But that was what I had that morning because once again, I didn't care too much about going the extra mile of going to the grocery store and getting my own stuff. So the reason why I tell you all this today is to show you that I eat that kind of stuff too. Not with regularity, because I think one of the key things to remember is you are not what you do in isolation. You are what you do consistently. Let me say that again. You are not what you do in isolation. You are what you do consistently. And those things that I ate, I don't eat consistently. That was an isolated incident. And so that's not going to overall affect my health in that big of a manner. Like, sure, maybe it made me feel a little bit bloated and made me feel a little bit sluggish on those days, but I was still very active, which helped me avoid those feelings. And a lot had to do with my mindset of just not being frustrated with that. And that didn't drain my energy as well. And so I share this to show you the insights of I do this sometimes as well. And then also because I want you to set realistic expectations for yourself going in. If you have a bachelor or a bachelorette trip, if you have a wedding, a vacation, a holiday coming up, I want you to have intentionality beforehand around, are you going to try to be healthier or not? And to me, there's not a right or wrong answer. I just want you to decide, are you going to try to be healthier? If so, to what degree? Or are you just not going to care at all? And if you don't care at all, then so be it. Of course, that might affect whatever your goal is, but I want you to decide, go in with an intention, go in with the goal, and then execute at as high of a level as you possibly can. And then another way to go about it is the way that I kind of went about it. Make it not as bad as it could be. That's a phrase I use a lot with people in the 10-week transformation. Make it not as bad as you could be. And so some ways that you can make it not as bad as it could be is one, you can opt out of certain foods. For example, I didn't have the muffins and the bagel at least that first day. So I opted out from foods like that. Another way we can do it is we can decrease the portion size. We can just decrease the overall caloric intake that we eat. So we might eat some unhealthy stuff, but not as much of it. Number 3, we can make it not as bad as it could be by getting an exercise. Like getting an exercise will keep your energy levels higher and will allow you to metabolize that food more quickly. Number 4, you can stay hydrated. Almost everybody can control their level of hydration no matter where they are because we all have access to that for the most part. And so that's a great thing that you can control. And then the 5th is control any meal that you can control. So if you're going out to a restaurant and you go to a place that has healthier options and your intention is to be healthier, then select the healthier options. If, let's say, you're given the responsibility to cook dinner for the people that you're with, maybe cook a relatively healthy meal or maybe cook whatever meal everybody else wants and then have a little bit of something that you cook for yourself on the side. So whenever you have something like that in the near future coming up, pick your intention of health, of how healthy am I going to be, or am I just not going to be healthy at all? And then you can also make it not as bad as it could be by some of those strategies. I hope this episode was helpful. I know it was a little bit different. It wasn't necessarily educational. It wasn't necessarily giving you so many strategies or so many tips, but I hope it was insightful. I hope it was insightful to get in my own head and to see what I do and see how I approach things, and how when I came back from that trip, it did not faze me. I knew I was going to get right back to my healthy habits because I know that I'm not what I do in isolation. I am what I do consistently. And I think that mindset is what really allowed me to stay mentally on track throughout that process, throughout my brother's bachelor trip. If you need help with staying on track with things like this, if your mindset goes all over the place with your healthy habits, then I would love for you to give a 1-week trial of the virtual 10-week transformation. Give it a 1-week try. All you got to go do is go to nickcarrier.com/free trial, and you're going to get access to 3 different things. 1, you're going to get access to the 5 steps to goal success. It's about a 5 to 6 minute video where you can learn how I coach people to their goals. Number 2, you're going to get 3 video workouts that are 30 minutes apiece, and these are the week 1 workouts of the virtual 10-week transformation. You can do them anywhere, any day, anytime, as long as you have a set of dumbbells. And number 3, you're going to be able to watch a video where I teach the 4 questions you can ask yourself when you're preparing your week so that you can set yourself up for success. All of that for absolutely free. This is one of the best free things that I've ever put out there in the market, so I want you to take advantage of it. Like I put a lot of work into providing this free thing. Take advantage of it because it is so damn good. Go to nickcarrier.com/free trial to get access to it. Again, nickcarrier.com/free trial to get access to these 3 workouts that you can do whenever so that you can build muscle, lose fat, gain confidence, and so that you can have the right mental approach to situations like I had a couple of weeks ago. I hope the episode today gave you some insights that can help you get closer to your health and fitness goals and ultimately closer and closer to your best you.